pentagon? What the heck is that?
Stop talking about studying.
I hate Orgo. I hate Orgo.
Just study.
I'm gonna fail tomorrow. I'm gonna fail. What's the heck's a pentagon?
Hey guys, what are you doing?
I have no one same tomorrow.
What, the drama?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, it's going pretty bad.
let's go out.
She has to study.
So,
I'm telling you, I have an exam tomorrow and you're like, let's go out?
we'll be fine. You guys will be fine. I promise.
She's like borderline failing.
Oh, you're borderline
It's
failing?
Orgo.
Oh, you're borderline failing?
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, it's not.
So we're just gonna go out for a couple hours, like, to eat, and then you can come back and study.
Like, I don't know. I'm really nervous about this exam.
You'll be okay. Pope Carlos, like, got you. Like, you'll be
He
fine.
doesn't work like that. Like, you have to study.
You're gonna study when you get back.
Just stay.
I think I'm pretty solid. Like, I think I did such a good job. I've been studying for like 500 months, so
I think you'll be fine.
like hexagon, pentagon come together, make a chloride
Yeah, you're
function,
right. You're
whatever.
right. You're right.
We should go. Right?
Yeah, we
You
should.
wanna come with us?
No.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're gonna miss out. It's
Okay.
half off apps today at Applebee's.
And I have to study.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get coffee after. And donuts.
Just bring me back home.
Okay, let's go, Alex.
Let's go.
I like Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The next day.
Didn't the professor say the grade would come out today? Let me check. Log in. Orgo. 35? Oh my goodness. Those med schools are gonna fly away. What is that? Ticket $500. Yours says never have trailer hitches. What does that mean? Maybe nothing comes with me to death. I should go to church and be thankful for God for everything He's done for me.
Hello, everyone. We're going to touch upon sadness and what that really means and how it can affect us in good and bad ways. Mostly bad ways, actually. Sadness is not just the lack of joy. However, it is a destitution of the soul. Sadness usually stems from anger, and it's constituted of anger. People who are usually prone to getting angry easily are those who deal with a lot of revengeful thoughts, and the frustration of dealing with that leads to anger. Sadness has been described as a worm in the heart that consumes the person, that allows it to grow. If you think of a mom giving birth during labor, there's a lot of pain that comes with it. However, once she delivers and she's freed, there is no more pain. Same goes for sadness. If we let sadness go and we're freed of sadness, there will be no more pain. However, if we hold on to the pain, if we hold on to sadness, there will always be toil and suffering. Spiritually, monks who are afflicted by sadness cannot have any spiritual pleasure. If someone is full of sadness, they cannot offer a pure prayer. If somebody is full of sadness, they cannot contemplate about spiritual pleasures. They cannot enjoy spiritual pleasures. They cannot contemplate God's being and the blessings that we live in. If we think of prisoners and fetters are the chains that bind prisoners at their ankles. So fetters on the feet prevent somebody from running, a prisoner from running. Same thing with sadness. Sadness is like a fetter that prevents us from contemplation, from spiritual joy, spiritual pleasure. For those that have sadness, it's also people who have a lot of worldly passions, a lot of worldly temptations, a lot of worldly attachments. If I'm very attached to certain pleasures, if I'm very attached to certain behaviors, if I'm very attached to certain possessions, there will be a lot of sadness because there's always the fear of losing or the fear of giving it up or the sadness of giving it up. Sadness won't really be present or won't have any strength or pull if there is no passion for me or no attachment to something in the world. If I'm attached to so many things, I will always have sadness because I have to let go of things or have to fight to let go of things. For someone to overcome their appetite for their passions, they'll be able to not be dominated by sadness. Somebody who's abstinent and doesn't care for food won't have any sadness when it comes to the absence of food. If somebody is very humble, there will be no sadness if he was deprived of human esteem, for example. If somebody doesn't care for any worldly possessions, there will be no sadness if he suffers a loss, whether it be, financial or professional, because they have no appetite for these things. So if there's no appetite or attachment to any of these passions or worldly passions, there will be no sadness. So if I have control of my passions, or if I can control what I'm so attached to, I'll be able to control my sadness. As it says in John, 1 John chapter 2, the person who loves the world will experience a lot of sadness, but the one who disdains the things of the world will always know gladness. The only time sadness can actually be of benefit to us is if it's godly sadness, and that's when I struggle to purify my soul of my sins. Being aware of what I need to improve and what I need to work on, what I need to purify, that kind of sadness will help me grow. And that is the one thing that could be edifying to my soul. Sadness also is a darkness, and it dulls the mind's capacity for contemplating God's presence, God's love, my relationship with God himself. If you think of sunlight is very strong, but it doesn't penetrate a great depth of water. Same for sadness, where even if there is the light of contemplation, it won't illuminate a heart that's full of sadness. It's very deep and it's very dark, no matter how much light there can be. So if my soul is full of sadness, or I am full of sadness, that light will not, or God's light will not be able to penetrate through my heart. Same thing, a sunrise could be pleasant for everybody. But if there's a soul that's full of sadness, they won't be able to take any pleasure in something so beautiful. So how do we treat sadness, and how do I not live in sadness? Basically by loving God. The love of the Lord will free us of any sadness, since love will always drive out sadness. And again, not being attached to anything worldly or anything that's so tangible will always free me of sadness. Thank you.